Peace and blessings, family. Peace, peace, and blessings. Thank you, family, for tuning in. This is your brother Yaya with another live episode of Buried in a Shallow Grave. And we are here. We are here. And family, I'm going to just get right into business. First of all, I just want to announce that I just launched my brand new website. And, it puts a smile on my face because I know the hard work I had to put in into thinking of what I wanted to present to you. But honestly, most of the work that I did was fairly mental and very much less time consuming because I opted into a system that was able to help me do what it was that I wanted to do. And so, now that the viewers and my subscribers, um, I understand systems and that systems was designed to manage us, to silence us, and even family to limit us. We're going to talk today in part two, basically, of our last live that we had. We'll teach how to become architects, family, architects of our own system. We have covered so much, so much has been covered, and for that and for you, I am grateful. Without my subscribers, without those who have been with me, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. So with that being said, I want to shout out to Mr. CT, excuse me, Jamie Hayes, Zola Bud, 420 Baby, Oscar E, Gregory Lee, Keisha Almendez. I always suffer with that, but I did good, I think, that time. Al Dad, PK, Nick Wiltshire, and Killer YT. Thank you all. Thank you all. There are more subscribers that I have, but they don't want themselves to be shown up as public. We understand. And for whatever reason you don't, we still appreciate you and we thank you for tuning in to another episode of Buried in a Shallow Grave. Family, today I want to talk to the architects. And the reason I want to talk to the architects is because we're going to be talking about mental restructuring. Mental restructuring. All right? And what we're going to be getting out of this is the fact that we are all able to opt out of a survival mindset. Number two, family, we're going to talk about economic self-direction. Economic self-direction. Does that make sense? No longer are we going to depend or will we be depending on old systems for income. I'm not telling anyone to quit your job. I want you to keep your job. We've talked about this. We've talked about the importance of having a job so that we can create that outside wealth. I think it's necessary and we have to have one, many of us. But number three, I want to talk about digital ownership. Remember last live we talked about we're living in a digital age, but we hear everybody from our community telling us that we almost know it ourselves. We know we're living in a digital age, but what we need is economic self-direction in this age. And then once we have that direction, we need to know how to become owners of our digital properties, owners of our digital properties. Did you even know that you could become a owner of digital property, which is something that you can't see outside of your computer or outside of your phone or outside of your eye camera? For your glasses, you may not be able to see it outside of those things. Digital products is just what it is. It is digital products. Number two, did you know that you could create digital products? Many of you have opted into my digital products already. Already. You say, how did I do that? Well, we'll talk about that. But that's why we need to talk about ownership of digital products. Thank you, viewer, for coming in. This is Brother Yaya with another episode of Buried in a Shallow Grave. And we are talking right now about economic self-direction, digital ownership, how to go about doing that, and it's all free. Hey, family, go to that description bar and grab my website. Go check it out. Not only do I want you to check it out, but I want you to ask questions about how you can become involved. Brother Yaya is looking for involvement. And I want to know who you are. I want to know what you do. I want to know why you do it and who you do it for. I want to know what's your long-term goal, what's your short-term goal. So this is all dealing with the website. But go to that description bar, and I do have it in there. So we're talking about leveraging tech. CT. We're talking about leveraging tech. Automation, and creativity. Okay? Number 4, we're going to be talking about strategic building. Strategic building. That consists of creating systems. We talked about that in a previous resurrection class that generate consistent value. What is consistent value? We're gonna talk about all of that. Right now, I'm just covering what we're gonna talk about, why it matters, and I'm defining some of these kind of difficult to understand terms I'm using and a lot of other people use. Okay? Are you ready, family? If you are ready, this is Brother Yaya, and I am ready to begin. Peace and welcome, family. And if you're here today, if you just happen to scroll by and you see a person and you say, you know what, I'm going to stop and I'm going to listen to what he's got to say, that means, and you're still listening, that means you survived part 1. You survived. Woo! Okay? And if you survived it, if you did survive part 1, then you're ready to do something more than just wake up in the morning and go with the flow. You're ready to build. Because listen, man, you don't need another speech. You don't need another strategy that is lame and a part of this system. You need a new strategy that is something no one else has thought of, and you are ready and capable to do it. Now, we're not just talking about motivation. We have to be talking about real world moves that get you out of dependency. And we have to become owners. Why do I have to become an owner? We talked about that. Go back and get that previous resurrection class. We talked about why it's important for us to become owners and why we weren't taught the importance of becoming owners. Family, most of you already know that I'm considering going back and forth talking about the children of Israel and the Pharaoh, the biblical Pharaoh in the Bible. And I always tell you, those of us who heard the call, We left Egypt, but now it's time to build something of our own. Okay? See, everybody wants to leave the system. I hear it all over the world. I've been all over the world, from the West Coast to the East Coast to the South and even the North. And what I find that all hemispheres, all sides of this, what we call the United States of America, have in common is that we all feel like leaving an old system. I'm quitting my job. I'm leaving corporate. I'm walking out. You hear it all the time. From your Walmart to your Fortune 500 companies. But leave and go where? To another company that is going to do you the same way that the last company did you? Leave and go to a company that is going to do you probably worse than the company that you just left and built all of your effort into, and your mental and your lifestyle now is all around this gig. Leave and go where? See, we treat escape like it's freedom. We treat walking out on old systems and into older systems, or just as old systems, as if we are liberating ourselves. But escape without a plan, that's just a different kind of trap. And I want you to be able to recognize that and take the initiative to say, okay, now I remember, if I do the same things expecting a different result, I remember my teacher telling me that that was the absolute definition of insanity. And I don't want to be insane. I want to be a sane thinking person. And I must need to opt out of my old mindset. If you haven't seen that resurrection class on old mindsets, please go get it, family. It's not just talking about, psychologically, it's talking about also geographical mindsets that we have. And it's deep, man. Go and get it. Go and get it. Go and get it. So we need a plan. We need a plan. You ever had that cousin, that friend, that brother, that sister, that family member, y'all, who quits their job, on a Tuesday and be broke by Friday? Well, that was me. I'm sure you know somebody like that. Now he's selling boiled eggs and incense at a gas station. Okay, I'm not making fun of him, but I want you to recall these type of things that you may have seen something similar to, because I'm going somewhere. He might be out there supporting, black businesses, but ain't got no business structure. He might be out there with Juneteenth shirts or Martin Luther King caps and tees and stickers and all kinds of creative things. He might even went to the next level where he's creating books. And at this time of year, not only does he give away the shirt, but he also gives away a free ebook giving a true history of Dr. King and what actually happened in his last days. Something that is always going to attract those of us who want to know something deeper. Just using that as an example. But he don't have a business structure to go along with it. He doesn't have a system in place to go along with it. It's not freedom. That is not freedom, beloved. That's improvised struggle. And you didn't leave slavery when you went from one job to another job. You didn't leave slavery. And you have to realize you didn't leave slavery in the first place to freestyle your future. Do you understand what I'm saying and where I'm going with that? I hope so. You left that job really to build. That was your mind state when you said, I'm finna leave. This is not for me. It's not working for me. yada, 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 yada. And I'm about to leave. But you left because you had the mind at that time, I got to do something better and I have to build. This is not building me. I'm not growing and I need to do something better. But I tell you, family, don't just quit a job and go to another job. Design your exit strategy. Design your exit strategy. Here's what you need before you leave any system. You need a skill that people will pay you for, a system that turns skill into income. Did you hear me? I'm going to say that again. You need, number one, a skill people will pay you for. Number two, you need a system that turns that skill into income. You need, number three, a schedule. A schedule that turns that system into stability. You need a schedule. Do you hear me? That's number three. Okay. And now number four, you need a structure to go around the system that lets it grow without you dying or becoming dang near dead in the process. Many of you who operate a business on a small scale, you're doing everything. You're doing everything. You're the email lister. You're the newsletter writer. You're the content creator. You're the mover. You're the maker. You are the promoter. You're everything. And that kind of system dies out. And you know it, and I know it. We don't just walk out of Egypt, family. We walk into a new blueprint. Okay? Now, if you would not like this broken down into a very, very detailed explanation tailored to what it is you do, just hit the number one button in the comment section and I will reach out to you myself and I will tailor you a module that is fit to your criteria and what it is that you're looking for that you can follow. I want to go in a little deeper. Let's talk about the hustle mindset. The hustle mindset. See, hustling now is how we survived. It's how we survived. That's our muscle memory. That's our muscle memory from poverty and from struggle. Hustle. You hear me? Listen, family. That's our muscle memory. It's like second nature when you start going down a rabbit hole that you can't seem to figure out how to get out of. You become a hustler. But builders, real builders like you, and hustlers like them don't operate the same. They have totally different operation schemes going on up here in the psyche. Okay? A hustler says something like, I'm building something that will pay me for years. That's a hustler's mindset. Okay? The man, the man with 12 hustles and no sleep. That's him. Y'all know that one uncle, that one auntie, that one cousin who always got 12 jobs, 12 hustles. She sell insurance. She's driving Uber. She's pressure washing, doing taxes. Uh, she's a mail lady, thinking about starting, a podcast or already got one. Uh, but they never seem to get any rest, never scales, and never owns a system that would work while they sleep. That's what the resurrection class today is offering you. And I want you to go and get that website in the description bar, which will lead you back to my free ebooks, which I want you to read because I'm not wasting your time. I come with the problem that we all recognize. I'm just talking about it, but I also in hopes of a greater future for us and providing a solution. And it's real clear. We must do for self, or we're gonna suffer the consequences. So this guy is broke, but not free either. You hear me? Excuse me, he's not broke, but he's not free either. You understand? Because a hustle without a system is just a treadmill for the gifted, for the talented. You need something that will operate for you on a higher scale. It doesn't matter if you're a barber. It doesn't matter if you're a beautician. It doesn't matter if you're an artist. It doesn't matter if you're a book writer. It doesn't matter if you're a content creator. It doesn't matter. You have to shift from hustle to system. Here's how to start thinking like a builder. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay. The hustler mentality, he might have the mentality of a hustler that chases money for today. But a builder's mentality, a true builder's mentality, builds value for the long term. This is a mindset. This mindset makes millionaires, thousandaires, successful people beyond what currency can bring. Because whether the currency changes or not, they know how to get whatever is in demand at the time, whether it's gold, whatever it will be, because of the mindset. You understand? A hustler mentality, he works harder. Trust me, I know. He works harder. But a builder's mentality, he works smarter. A hustler's mentality, he has an everything manual. A builder's mentality automates and delegates, meaning he has things that he will not provide. He may send you to someone who does it, but he has a standard of what he does. He's good at what he does, and he doesn't step outside of what he does. Do you understand? It is a business discipline. This is the builder mentality. He's not trying to get all the money. He's not trying to get all of the attention. He has a target, or she has a target marketed audience, and she provides information for their target market. And if she has those whom come outside of that target market, it is just a blessing. But that's not her target market. Okay? Now we're talking about the hustler mentality, builder mentality. This is Brother Yaya with another episode of Buried in the Shallow Grave. Thank you, family, for tuning in. We're going to keep right going because we know we don't need the hustler's mentality. We don't need that. We need a builder's mentality. A builder's mentality says grow through strategy. But the hustler mentality says I'll live off the adrenaline. And really, adrenaline don't pay the bills. Adrenaline don't pay the bills. Strategy pays the bills. When you have a strategy, that will take care of whatever it is that you're doing. We've talked about strategy. We've talked about strategy building. Go back and get it in the old resurrection classes, okay? It's very, very informative. And the reason I'm going about it this way, step by step, documenting these things, is so that you can see, Brother Yahya not offering no, he not gaming nobody. The brother actually knows what he's talking about, and he's actually trying to put it out there for the people, and he not charging the people nothing. Now, you know what, man? You say what you want, but I know something. I don't need to charge my people for this. I need a group of people who are willing to think for themselves, who are willing to opt out of old systems, who are willing to create new systems based on a new theory, a new word, a new message. That's what the resurrection class is about. So, look, step 3. What we need is some steps, and we need these steps to make that shift in mind state from the hustler mentality to the builder mentality. We need 3 steps. Okay. Our first step to go from hustler mentality to business mentality. Number 1. You ready? Pick one hustle and go deep. I mean, go deep. Go all the way with it. Don't focus on no other hustle but one hustle and perfecting that hustle. Turn it into a repeatable process. You take that one hustle and you turn it into a repeatable process. How do I do that? Well, you just think about what it is you do. And if you need some help on this step, you just let me know in the comment section. Or you can reach out to me at iconic.imprintmedia@gmail.com. That's iconic.imprintmedia@gmail.com. Visit the website in the description bar. You also can reach me there, and you can subscribe to free newsletters where I will be giving away information via Gmail. Okay, family, you need some tools now. You've picked one hustle and you are repeating it. You're getting into the practice of repeating that one hustle. You've laid down all this other stuff because it's chaotic at the time. You need this one hustle perfected that you have, because the problem is not needing more hustles. The problem is that we haven't spent enough time creating a system around the one hustle. Okay? And now you need some tools. You want to add tools. You want to add tech, digital tech. I'm going to teach you how to do that in future resurrection classes. I'm also about to get ready to do a series in which, you'll have to pay to get in, and I'm not going to, even that is discretionary. The goal is for people to learn. And if you just can't, seem to come up with the money and you've been supporting me, there's no way I'm not going to give you that information, okay? So you need templates to make everything go smoother. And if you go look at my website, you'll see I know what I'm talking. I just created that myself. No one helped me. I didn't pay for anybody outside of myself to help me create the website. Yet it looks like something off of any normal website. No one had to come outside and help me. I created a system that helps me do those things. And I am going to show you how to do those things for yourself for free. No charge, family. So Don't worry about no money here. Just gather the information. Thinkers are, family, the new leaders. Thinkers are the new leaders. Do you believe that? Thinkers are the new leaders. Let me tell you something. The next economy is not just for the strongest, it's for the smartest, it's for the most capable, the more willing. The more we plan and program and create structure, the more ready we'll be. AI, family, is replacing everything. It's replacing your hands. Yes, 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 it is. The algorithms of AI is replacing a lot of noise. And the future? The future belongs to the problem solvers and the creative thinkers and those who are willing to take initiative in a time where initiative taking is so scarce. My boy said, man, my cousin was a beast with that wrench. Real mechanic, working hand, you know. I said, cool. Did he put his process online? Did he make a training course? Did he own the shop? No. He just liked working with his hands. Oh, I said, well, AI don't need hands. And Amazon don't need permission. Whew. You know, this ain't about how good your hands are. You know, I understand you got good hands with the wrench, but it's not about that. Not anymore. This is about how good your mind is. This is about how willing you are to learn. This is about how willing you are to connect, to innovate, to cross pollinate. This is about that. And so here's how we become a thinking thinker. You like that word? No, listen. This is how you become thinker based, thinker leader. Okay? Read. Read. You must read daily. Even if it's 2 pages. Even if it's 2 pages. Even if, family, it has everything to do with what you're trying to do. Doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, that would probably be more profitable for you to read the things that you're trying to grow into, your aspirations. But you must read, and you must read daily. You need to have a mind that is always sparking fire from one end of the electron to the other end of the new. You need your brain always in a sparking moment, sparking new thought, sparking new idea. And you cannot do that without the necessity of reading. And I want you to study systems. This is for my resurrection class. We talked about different systems. Whataburger. I mean, we talked about the road system. We talked about the food system. We talked about how different systems operate around each other. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about how those systems are really not built for us at all, and how we need to opt out of those systems that are not for us and build new systems for ourselves. But I want you to take inventory. I want you to study systems. I think I'm going to create a module. And I'm going to have that module in the comment section within an hour of me finishing this live. And in that module, I'm going to break down the birth and continuation and even death of some systems. I don't want you to just study the subject systems. I want you to go in detail and look at how systems operate. I want you to learn to ask, how does this work? Not, what do I do? I want you to become a person initiative mind based. The one who is ready to learn what is necessary to go through the process of taking proper initiative. Proper initiative. And please, don't, stop only reading, black pain books. I'm not saying, these modern books, these urban books that we read, are not good reads. I'm not talking about them. But start reading business strategy books, system design books. Start reading about digital monetization. Start reading about organizational structure. Start reading about community wealth building. Start reading about systematic structures. I want you to take inventory of those things. Trying to see if there's any more things I can add. But because when you become a system thinker, when you become a system thinker, you're not just surviving. You're not surviving capitalism. You're not surviving the deadline. You're not surviving anything. You're designing your own economy. Do you understand? Okay. All right, family. So I just want you to know, no matter what, family, we will be doing this often.
We stand together. We stand as one. We will not be broken.
We want to work this year like we never worked before to increase the ranks of the nation. Not that all our people have to be Muslims, but they must understand that we are one nation. And in that nation, there are Christians, there are Muslims, there are Hebrews, there are those who don't believe in God at all. There are nationalists, there are Pan-Africanists, but it's one nation. One nation. And we must speak with one voice, not speaking for some narrow segment of the population who believes such and so and thus and so. But we gotta speak, Brother Khalid, for all our people, no matter who they are, where they are, what they are. We must be their champion.
All praises due to Allah. Thank you, family, for tuning in for another episode with Brother Yahya. We're going to